I'm Lance with the Outdoor Source, and today we're going to talk about mounts and what to look for and how to choose a good taxidermist. So, this may sound like I'm whining to all of you guys, but whatever. Mounts are expensive, you know, $500 to $1,000 for a whitetail mount. You know, it could be your deer of a lifetime, a deer you spend thousands of dollars going to hunt. So this is my 2024. Yeah, this is my 2024 Ohio deer. And he's obviously not my biggest deer, but I had the mount done from a guy I did not know. And you can see there's, like, if you come and look over here, you can see all of these like sew lines. I don't know what he did here. You can see, you know, there's just a whole bunch of, it's crazy. And the eyes are the most important thing. So when you look up, he didn't even tuck the tear ducts. The eyes don't look too bad in here. But you can see like stuff coming out of his mouth. So some things to look for is most taxidermists have, and if you look over here, you can see it too, like for some reason on both sides, he cut the cape down. I helped cape this deer off the skull with a professional, a guy that does hundreds of them a year. And on both sides, the taxidermist cut this down here and sewed it, which is insane to me because you can clearly see it on this side. It goes all the way down to here. You can feel the stitching underneath. And then he didn't do a good job at patching these holes up, which is hard. Yeah, I get that. Sometimes it's hard. But it's not very good work. Not very good work. And this taxidermy here, this deer cost me $675, which was an epic hunt. It was a great hunt. But the work is not great. Not great at all. So what I'm gonna do is, I complained a little bit about this, and you can see the full stitch line in the back, which, yeah, you're never gonna see when it's on the wall, but it's still annoying compared to, you know, a very professional job. So I'm gonna bring some other mounts up here so you can see some other things to look for. So when you go and they usually have mounts all over, look at the eyes. So a thing like right here is this epoxy. This should be tucked, and I'm gonna show you some examples of some really good tear duct tucking. And the epoxy in this one is not cracked. A lot of guys just fill it, and it will crack after a year or so, and they'll blame it on your house, the humidity, or whatever. So I'm gonna show you the oldest mount that I have that was done by a really good taxidermist, and it's super compared to this. I mean, this is insane to me. But the more I look at it, the more it's just horrible. So this is my pronghorn antelope, and I shot this, man, 22 years ago now. And this mount still looks incredible. The eyes look incredible. Everything about it looks incredible at this point still, and it's 22 years old. Like the paint on the nose hasn't cracked. Nothing's cracked. Everything looks good, besides it's dirty, and I need to clean the poor guy up a little bit. But everything looks really, really good on him still. I can't see anything wrong with it. The eyes are amazing on it for an antelope. In the mouth, you can't see any stitching. Even if you try to look underneath, you can't see any of that. And the paint is really good, and there's no hair slippage. There's nothing. Phenomenal mount. And this is 22 years old, and this thing has been moved around from Wyoming to all sorts of different places. So besides being a little bit dirty, this mount has really stood the test of time, and that's what you want. Yep. So this is a pedestal mount, and this deer I worked hard for. I hunted this deer for 3 years, and this is a pedestal mount, and behind here, it's fallen apart a little bit. You know, you can see pieces of it here, which is sad. And this is only 5 years old. Now, if you look at these eyes here, this is what I'm talking about with epoxy. It's cracking. So look at that. When you go to a taxidermist, they're gonna have stuff all over the place. Are the eyes cracking like that? Now, I had the same guy do a lot of my work for a while, And he did a pretty good job and it looked pretty decent coming back, but you can see here the nose paint is coming off. You can see pieces of it. It's coming off. So that's one example, which is very sad. And you can see, you know, this epoxy here on this eye is completely coming out. He just packs it full of epoxy, which is annoying because this mount was 750 bucks. Now this is from a different taxidermist, and he tucked the eyes very nicely, a lot differently. And yeah, these are all pretty dirty, need to be sprayed off. Now the mouth is a little bit open on this one, but you can see the nose paint is really good. And this guy's about 12 years old. He's been around for a while. So this guy here is from the same taxidermist as the pedestal mount, and he's not cracking, which is good. But again, the nose paint is kind of coming off a little bit in some areas, probably because he painted it when it wasn't 100% dry yet. Now, this is my second biggest deer, and this deer looks sad. Like he did his eyes all jacked up. His eyes are so jacked up, I was so upset. I don't go to that taxidermist anymore because of that. And look at the tear ducts on there. It's just crazy. And this one's cracking and about to fall out on this side. That was my biggest deer at the time by far. And you can even see the putty marks in there from his putty knife to pack in that epoxy in the eyes. And the deer looks like he's about to take a nap. He looks really sleepy compared to all the other ones. So, I don't know. It's frustrating and it's hard. And he cut his nose here when he was caping. Well, this deer was already caped when he got him, but I know we didn't cut that, so I don't know how that happened. And he's done that on a couple of my other deer. Same taxidermist. This guy looks pretty good. I'm hoping that my deer this year comes back and he looks phenomenal because he's by far my biggest deer. We'll see. But very consistent with the eyes and stuff. So this guy right here is an award-winning taxidermist. And these are the best eyes that I have. Like these eyes are phenomenal. You can see everything's tucked. It looks natural, not just a huge gob of epoxy in there. There's no cracking on this guy. Everything looks really good. And this deer is 10 years old. But the eyes look phenomenal. Everything looks phenomenal. So if you wanna see good eyes, you want it to look like this. Not just packed full of epoxy. They're tucked, they look natural. The eyes look really good on this guy. The mount looks really good, and this is a winter coat. You know, those are things to look for. Look at the eyes, make sure the deer doesn't look sad, like he's about to take a nap. Make sure you get what you want. Now, another thing that is upsetting with some of these deer is like this guy here was supposed to be a pedestal mount, and my taxidermist gave me back like this. He didn't even listen to me. So I don't use him anymore. And he called me and asked me why, and I just told him I haven't killed any deer. But you can see here too on this guy, man, he did a whole bunch of, the more I look at it, the more mad I get. Like you can see a cut in here. There's a whole bunch of hair missing here. Sometimes I think when he fleshes too close. I don't know. But so these are things to think about while you're getting taxidermy work done. You're taking a look at stuff. You know, they all look decent from a distance, but up close is where you see the imperfections. And if you're paying $1,000 for taxidermy, I would not go cheap. If you go cheap, you're gonna get cheap work. And a lot of guys are just like, that's too expensive. But man, you're spending $1,500 on a bow, you're spending all this money on this trip, like, go check it out. Make sure that it's good. Ask around. Look at the mounts that are there. Look at the mounts that are hanging that are waiting for paint. They're gonna be there. So those are my 2 cents. Take a look at it, let me know what you think. And if there's any more tips, it's all good stuff, but you know, it's hard. They get they get in a groove doing it for a long time, and the quality probably goes down a little bit. So appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one.